the end may come, because the truth is, it's on the four winds of the earth. Go ahead, bro. Even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Right, and knowledge is being increased by way of the internet. We're streaming live, so that through the spirit, a brother may be watching us in London, or a brother may be watching us in Australia, or in Germany. So this word is hitting the four winds of the earth within a matter of seconds, instantaneously. Jumping down to verse 8. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Right? The understanding are closed up until the time of the end. When we talk about the time of the end, what are we talking about? We're talking about the end of Esau's rulership. And this is what we're embarking on, going to what the brother said. It's a childish thing for Esau to say what he's saying, but it's indicative to him losing power. Us being out here is indicative to Esau Edom losing power. All right. There was a time, all right, at a point in time where, look, this wasn't tolerated. Esau wasn't going to tolerate so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics out here speaking about their ending, their destruction, chanting death to America. All right, us putting confidence, which is faith,
right,
into our people.
Right. You know, aside from teaching that their end was coming, just having a level of confidence in as a nation, they wouldn't allow that. If you had something that made you happy, they stopped it. Like that's a real thing. If you go into the history of the American slavery, once the slaves they started doing let's say they have like a party or a shindig or something, Esau will go in and be like, nah, this is y'all can't do this no more. There could be no level of happiness or corral amongst the people.
Chinese school, remember that? Chinese school had just begun, no more laughing, no more fun.
Right.
That was the spirit Esau was in.
Right.
You watch, I think it was Life, you watch these movies of Jake, they had to have these little underground clubs basically, because the cops were coming in and just bust it up, just because they were having fun. Because they were laughing, because they were smiling, because they were happy.
Right.
We went into a laughing, but just the thought of Jake having a utopia, which is like a paradise for so-called blacks, that ruffles their feathers, man. That gets them bent all out of shape.
And that's what gentrification is. When they look at him, like we put them in the worst neighborhood, and they're over there having a good time. You know what? Let's cut this out. We go in there, take their houses down, or take them over and send them to another part of the neighborhood. That's even worse, right? So we talk about Nigger Hill, right? Which is right over here behind Beacon Street is a neighborhood known as Nigger Hill, right? Before they was in Nigger Hill, before they was moved over there, they was in the North End. A lot of what you see in the North End, all of those brownstones that are there in the North End, that was all Jake. And then they were moved into here, what they call, either West End or Nigger Hill. They were moved in this neighborhood, and then from there, they were moved down to Mass Ave. And they were just moved all around Boston. And then now if you look at Mass Ave, all those brownstones, it's all Edomites again. Right? So they don't allow Jake to have a good time. And this is what really kills them. Like you get a guy, there was a video out where it was a guy driving and they were saying they were going to get some GMS guys. I don't know if y'all remember that video. Like those guys are retarded. Those are the I work with a guy he's borderline retarded. And he has the nerve to say I don't like black people. But there was a time where somebody who was borderline retarded, I could be the dumbest white boy ever, but I'm better than them, right? And now that doesn't exist anymore. We talked about that before, but now that doesn't exist. You have now so-called black people being intelligent, right? Having integrity, being, especially the men of the Lord, the men that's in this truth. There's nothing they can do about it. Before they could, if you watch the movie 12 Years a Slave, that scene where Solomon had to beat the dude's ass because he was like, I thought I told you to take these boards off and put new boards on. He was like, look, I did exactly what you told me to do. Then he got mad. And then what he did was he tried to whoop him. Solomon whooped his ass and they hung him. You know what I mean? So, but that's what they want to do. That's what the desire is.
Right. You know, to show you that the power is of the Heavenly Father.
Right.
The Lord who lives in the kingdom of men.
Right.
He said that this was for an appointed time. The triumph of the wicked is short. It wasn't given to Esau to rule over us forever. And it's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight.
Right.
It's a process
right.
that had to take place going back to when we talk about Apple Biblians. Even the elders, they labored for 30 years. Laboring for 30 years is a process that takes place that You give this information
Even
you
before
build up, man.
Bivens.
Yep, go ahead, brother.
Even, but like going back, all the way, even back, all the way to the time where, like you can say, like the Spanish Inquisition, even back that far.
Go back to Acts.
Right, you can go all the way back. That there was a process, because what's the end of the process is what? The kingdom of heaven.
Right.
So that process started way back. So you can, each iteration we've been improved. Because let's take the Abba Bivens time, right? You had what they call the commandment keepers, right? And in that group, they only dealt with the Old Testament. In that group, Abba Bivens was the one who was like, nah, we got to deal with this whole thing, and he kind of splintered off and did his own thing, and that's where the so-called one Westers come out of, right? So even in that, there was a process, a transition, a weeding out, yeah, and it's still happening today.
Refining,
yeah,
still today,
and it's still happening today. No, that's right.
Yes, continue. Daniel 12:9, and he said, "Though thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end.
Yep.
Many shall be purified and made white and tried." This is the purification. This is the making of the white. This is that baptism, right? This is that washing away of that filth, and that filth is the philosophies of this world, man. That was given to us by our enemy. Right. The enemy is not going to aid you in any type of way. He may pretend to aid you, but Esau's job is not to aid us. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Hey, and he's a beautiful devil. He did exactly what the Heavenly Father, commanded him to do. And and really, you know what, we're upset at Esau, but he's doing exactly what, like I said, he's doing it. When you look at Jack Nicholson, right? Jack Nicholson played the hell out of the Joker, right? His job was to be that villain, to be that bad guy, right? But Jack Nicholson did exactly what he was ordered to do, and he played the hell out of Joker. He's that bad guy. Every father has this movie with just characters in his script. When you go to the Bible, it's a script. We're all playing this script, and in this script there was a bad guy. That bad guy had to play the role, and there's a superhero whose name is Yahweh Shai, who's going to come deliver his people, man. He said he's going to raise us up out of the land of... This is a great story. This is a great underdog story that's in all these movies that you see, man. And it's a beautiful thing that we can say that we're at the end of this thing. When we say Esau, your end is coming, your end is not, this is what we're talking about, all right? And the restoration of Yasharallah. This is the new thing among black people. They want reparations from Esau, Edom. But our reparations to be repaired is coming in a form of that's not of this world, man. It's something they can't even fathom it. So the fact, mercy, going into what we were talking about last week, this is mercy. The fact that we can even come up and talk these things, it's a beautiful thing. And it's alone is what scares the piss out of Esau, Edom. We know it's in the scriptures.
If I could say something really quick, being repaired is more than just money and land, right? It's going to take more than money and land to repair what has been done to these people. Just giving them their nationality alone is better than money and land.
Right.
This is why the Lord said we're going to be changed in that fashion through the Spirit. Yeah. Because like the elder just said, that shit ain't going to suffice just being able to change somebody or convert somebody or put somebody in that back into their right state of mind. Right. There's got to be a heavenly Father got to intervene to put that change back in us in order for us to receive it. Because even right now, you got men on the highways and byways teaching the word, going throughout the four corners of the earth, but our people still not receiving it. Right. So in other words, how are they going to receive this thing in the long run? They're going to die on this side, but come back in their right mind through the Spirit, because at that point, the Lord's going to put all the right things in our inward parts, so when they're born, they're going to be born into righteousness. You see?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If I may add, there's an old saying that says you can give somebody a fish or you can teach them how to fish, right? Which means, translating to what we're speaking, is that our people were better prepared if they were taught on how to be self-sufficient,
or just left us to it. Right. If you Jake, the scriptures say that Jake is the former of all things. You just left us to our own thing. Let us call ourselves Israelites, right? Right. Eventually, it'll repair itself, right? But Esau has been that hindrance that we talked about.
Right. We'll figure it out.
Right. But again, the elder said something powerful, because the damage that has been done is so bad that the Heavenly Father has to do it. Because we could repair ourselves. Eventually it'll happen, right? Eventually all things turn back to the way they should be. But it would take so long. We were in slavery. We've been in slavery. You can say, like I said, since
before Egypt.
Right. Since Egypt, we've been enslaved, like in and out of slavery, right? So the damage that has been caused over these thousands and thousands of years, it would take double that to repair it, right? So the